Hello, Milky friends. It is Milksu here with you for another Idol Heroes video. How are you? I hope you have been well. I haven't been making 4th anniversary videos like I have been Chinese New Year anniversary videos. No, Chinese New Year is not an anniversary. Well, it is an anniversary because it happens annually. But I haven't been making as many videos about the 4th anniversary event simply because everyone else has already made the videos. I mean, everyone's tried to get Drake to work. The reality is he's a PvE hero. No one's going to build a new team around a very weak hero. That's the reality. It is what it is. A lot of people are disappointed. You have the very right to be disappointed as well. Anyway, the point of this video is we're going to do a couple of things today. One, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the 4th anniversary and what lessons we can learn going forward. Secondly, I'm going to talk about the value with this week's wine cooking on raft event, which is, I don't actually know how they translated it, but that makes no sense. So, I don't know why you would cook wine, especially given that, you know, the reward that you get, the dongzi, this green stuff, it's like a Chinese sticky rice thing that's got nothing to do with wine. So we're going to talk about the value there, and then I'm going to talk about my lineup and where I'm headed with it going forward. It might give you some ideas about what to do with your lineup, but this is how I play. So if we talk about the first part of the first thing that I came up with, 4th anniversary, right? So we've got a lot of free stuff. I think the key thing to take away with this event, and I guess past events as well, is to expect the unexpected. I mean, everyone is trying to use what's happened in prior years because we're human beings, right? We think history repeats itself, but it's clear with these developers going forward that that's not the case anymore, right? We all thought it was going to be 650 scrolls a loop, 100 orbs per loop. That hasn't happened, right? And instead, they introduced this new flip card system, which aggrieved a number of people, and it's not surprising, right? These guys have to make money, and so they introduced this flip card system, right? I've only got 4 out of the 8 Russells. I'm probably going to try and get 20 flips because I want to get the next tier of bonus reward, which is this artifact. But the key takeaway is 4th anniversary, right? We got a lot of free stuff. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. But key lesson for me here going forward is just don't take things for granted, right? Every time you think they're going to do something, they just do something else. Completely left field. Right, so we thought the prior 2 events with the profit orbs where you could get 2 carries, we thought that was bait. We thought that spending on Sherlock was going to be bait because, you know, they said you could try and replace him and get the new hero. It wasn't, right? So I think the key takeaway is just play the game for fun. Don't try and second guess it, right? For me going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save up enough scrolls to get one of the non-light dark heroes before Christmas, just because I want those eternity crystals, so then when a new light dark hero drops and I need to replace for it, I can get that. But also because I think it's just sensible. I think they're going to introduce a non-light dark hero coming in between now and Christmas that's going to change the meta again, like Sherlock is for defense, right? So right now the meta is changing from Carey and Garuda and Ada. It's very much Russell and Sherlock in there. And that transition is going to happen in the next 6 months. Another new hero might sort of disrupt things, but that's how I'm probably going to play it now, right? I'm just going to save up enough orbs to do 4 events a year. Not orbs. Scrolls to do 4 events a year. I'm going to do the 3 light darks that you get around 4th anniversary, that you get Christmas, and that you get Chinese New Year. And usually the Christmas one, historically speaking, although remember I just told you not to trust history, the Christmas one historically has been the weakest light dark hero to be introduced, although now that Drake's out, I mean, anything could happen. So that's how I'm going to go. That's the lesson for me, right? Just to don't expect the unexpected. Well, you just don't know what these devs are going to do. They're going to be very tricky. They're going to work out new ways to extract cash from you. So that's the first thing. Second thing we're going to talk about is the value, right? So in terms of things that you can buy this week, you can buy this Zhongzi package. And so Zhongzi is not Zhongji. Zhongzi is the word for a rice, glutinous rice. Is it savory? Yeah, it's savory dish. It's not sweet, right? And My mum makes it taste like shit. I don't like it. It's not because my mum's version tastes like shit. It's because I just don't like it. But effectively, you get those from the order drop, or you can buy them, right? So you're gonna get a couple of these nuggets from. You can get it from here. And I haven't got any because I just collected mine, but you can get it from there, and the drop rate's only shit. Or you can buy it for gold, which is nice, right? So basically, there are 10 levels on either side, as you know. And if you get to all 10 levels on, say, the Elvia side, you're going to get an Ada, who's an out-of-date hero, and you don't need anymore. Apologies for my dog, he's gone nuts. And then on the Sia side, again, if you get to level 10, you're going to get the very nice Amun-Ra. Again, out-of-date hero, no longer relevant. I don't know anyone that's using it. No one's using that. So most people are probably going to go for the Elvia side, considering, this skin shard package where you get 5, that's probably worth way more than this elite hero shard. So that's just personally speaking, if I were to do the one cookie event, I could pick one side. I would only do the Elvia side, and even then, the $1 million question is: do you go 2 either side, or do you go all the way to 5 on one side? Personally speaking, I would do 2 because I don't value the step to get to level 5. I mean, and you look at the level 5 rewards, you got to ask yourself, is the feather worth it? Is the light dark hero worth it? Or do I just want another hero shard, right? It depends on how you value things. Then the jump from 5 to 10, again, you got to question yourself. Do you go, is it better to go 5-5 or 10 level 10, just all one level? Because if you go 5-5, you still get some feathers, albeit not as much as the level 10. But you got to ask yourself, if you go all the way to 10 on one side, do you actually need the hero at the end? So that's how I'm thinking about it. I'm probably going to go level 2 on Elvia, and then level 2 on Sia, and then level 5 on Elvia, and then level 5 on Sia. I'm not going to go all the way to 10 on either side because I don't need those heroes. I've already got, and this is just me, I've already got 2 Adas and 2 Amun-Ras. I wouldn't know what to do with any more copies of those heroes. But that's just me. If you don't have an Ada copy, I would say just go for it. But that's how I'm approaching it. And so the nice thing is you also, along the way, as you, I think, level up, you also get one of these things along the way, which is quite nice. But yeah, as to whether or not you should spend gold, I mean, here's the thing. If you're doing a pure what do I get for the gold type of scenario, it's a lot of gold, right? To get to level 10, it's something like 1 billion gold that you need for one side. So if you've got nothing else to spend the gold on, by all means do it, because this is one of those few times where you can actually use the gold to buy something that's decent. But for me, unfortunately, because I've upgraded a whole stack of heroes, I've got no gold left. Like, that pink dust costs a fuck ton of money. Look how many... So this event, I got an E5 Drake. I managed to go from 9-star to 10-star my second Tara, which is a fucking mistake, but I'm just going to get a lot of Russell copies and replace that Tara. I'm trying to push Sealand Light, that's why I built the second Tara. And then in the same event, I also got my Amun-Ra from, I think, what is it, E1 to E5. And I also got Russell to 10-star. So the process of doing all that costs a ton of gold and a ton of green stuff. So that's my key restraint right now. I don't have enough green stuff, Spirit, to move me along. So, in terms of value on this, if you've got a whole abundance of gold, then by all means spend it. Especially if you don't think if you've got all your pets upgraded, if you're late game, you're not going to be able to spend anything else. Just buy it. There's really nothing else you can spend your gold on. But if you're mid to early game, there's a trade-off, right? Because you got a monster to build, and you got heroes to upgrade, and then once you've upgraded the heroes, you got to spend on these soul stones, which cost a lot of money. So, up to you. If I was mid-game, I'd assess my situation uniquely, but if you're end-game, you got a lot of gold, it's just a no-brainer. You would just spend on this. This is one of the few events where you can get lots of gold. And if you need more gold, go into your bag, like I have, and you sell all these green artifacts. I've sold the majority of my green artifacts. You can sell the red ones as well, so you can sell that. That's useless. You're never going to upgrade the the red ones. And so that'll give you a bit more cash, but it's a lot of money. And if you were wondering, if you're saying, well, Melks, do every time I do one of these, I get 100,000 spirit. Just so we're clear that 1 million for 100,000 spirit, it's a terrible conversion ratio, because in the marketplace you can actually get 30 at the cost of 30 million gold, 20 million spirit, right? So that conversion factor there is much better, just so you're wondering. If you're doing that math in your head and you're trying to work out whether or not that's a good deal. Yes, at the end of it, you also get, at the end of a level, you also get one of these prizes, which adds to it. Like I said, if you got the gold, go for it. So then now we turn our attention to the Zongzi package and the Midsummer package. And look, I didn't buy any of these packages. And I'll tell you why. The Zongzi package, if you go here, and those of you who are new to my channel, what I do when I try and assess the value of these packages is I convert all these items to the equivalent gold. So if it's Zongzi package, 6 orbs are converted to the equivalent number of gems at 450 gems per orb, because that's how much you can get it for in the Aspen Dungeon. The Glorious Relic comes across at about 48 gems per feather, and that's based on the conversions I do during a campaign event where you get the campaign currency, and that's basically involves assuming that heroic scrolls cost 125 gems per scroll. Because I have that conversion factor, I can convert all the other items that you can get for the campaign currency for a particular week into the equivalent gems using that 1 to 1.25 factor, and then I can switch out the cost of that light dark hero divided by the number of feathers it costs in the shop and get an idea of how much each feather is worth. That's how I do it. You might find yourself doing it some other way. I'll leave the spreadsheet in the link below if you're really interested. But this Zongzi package, when I've done the math and you compare it to other packages, the Zongzi package comes out at, and I'm going to be fair, right? I'm going to be fair. I did not value this gelatinous rice cake thing, right? Simply because I don't know what level you're going to use it at, and because you can buy it for gold, it's kind of valueless, right? Because gold is worth different things to different people. It's a free currency. I mean, you could argue that because it gets you, it's 100 Zongzi, that's going to get you at least to level 2 on this, so it's at least worth an extra 400 gems in my calculation, which is fair enough, but I didn't include it. Anyway, on the basis of valuing the Zongzi package, I got to a value of 0.34 of a cent per gem for the Zongzi package. And if you're an avid viewer of my channel, you know that these special packages, generally fair value or good value when you must buy, is when the value of the package is somewhere between 0.2 and 0.3 of a cent per gem in terms of the goodies that you get. This week, this Zongzi package, it's not there. You might think it's value, but there's no value. Not compared to other things. So for that reason, I'm giving the Zongzi package a miss this week. I'm also giving the Midsummer package, which is the next package with the one with the Carry skin, a miss this week. And I did value the Carry skin. I valued it at 1875 gems. And some of you might argue, well, it's worth far more than that because you can't get it in the Glorious Relic shop. And you also can't get it out of the shards, like at all, when you fuse together 5 common shards. And that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But the reality is, I don't value it enough to buy it for $50. I valued it at basically 5 common skins, and that's how you get to 1875, because if you go back to the campaign conversions that I do, limited skins, when you get that 5 common skin package, it's only worth 1875 gems. For me, I never ever buy these skins that are tied to an anniversary event. And the reason why I never buy these packages is because heroes aren't enduring. Heroes change, right? And this is an important point, right? If you don't take anything away from this video, take this one point away. Skins, like that might give you one carrying advantage. One carrying advantage for like about 3 to 4 months until someone finds a hard counter, right? And it's not even that big an advantage, right? So you get... Everyone's buying this without a shadow of a doubt for the +4 speed, because everyone's carries are equal right now. So it's a question of, well, if I get +4 speed, my one's going to go first. And it's all about speed and dark factor, right? In the dark faction. That's fine. The problem with this game, if I had unlimited money, I'd totally buy that skin. But now that I'm a bit of more of a dolphin spender, I need to find like really, really good value. And for me, skins aren't it. So where I'm investing the bulk of my attention and the bulk of my time is basically this Ormus's workshop, right? And I'm going to do a Demon Bell as soon as I get my 20,000 gems this week. Because the Demon Bell, when you get the 4... Well, when you get 100%... well, when you've upgraded one demon belt all the way, basically every time someone uses an active skill, does it describe it here? Every time someone uses an active skill, doesn't say it. Every time, where do I find it? Demon belt. So demon belt, it doesn't tell you, but every time you, if you upgrade all the way, every time when someone carrying the demon belts uses the active skill, everyone on the team gets 100% energy straight away. So they all get to use their active skill. That's a very powerful perk. And so the reason why you should be spending all your gems and all your resources on getting artifacts is because artifacts are enduring, unlike skins. And that's a key takeaway. The word enduring, meaning those artifacts will always be relevant and they'll carry over for years and years to come. Demon Bell has been around forever, whereas, you know, that carry skin, 6 months tops, right? When the special, if we go to the skin bag, let's look at all the event skins that you might have been stupid enough to buy. I'm sorry, you are stupid if you actually bought them, right? So if you bought this Tara one, this unique one, right? Are you still using it? I mean, where is it still relevant, right? Or if you bought, I mean, this Ada one, fair enough. She's been around in like, when was she introduced? Last year or the year before? I'm confused. I forget now. She's been a while. Ada's been a while for a long time. So this is worth it, right? But then if you go and you look at, say, Amun-Ra, right? Amun-Ra. So Amun-Ra, this very special skin. Again, most people bought this very special skin during October, last Halloween, for the plus 6 speed, because at that point in time, it was just about getting that shield up, right? But who's using Amun-Ra in the lineup now? No one, right? So Carry, you already know the meta is shifting away from Carry to like a Sherlock, 2 Sherlocks, and a Russell, right? So on that basis, you've got to really ask yourself, do you really want to buy this skin, which you can only use for 6 months? Or should you spend that money and maybe, I don't know, maybe you should think about investing in getting one of these value packages, like say this $99 one, right? Fair enough, it's twice the price of, say, this particular pack. But for twice the price, if twice the price gets you, for example, this bonus reward, this special chest, right? And it gets you in Demon Belt, right? That enables you to get the upgrade in Ormus's workshop, the Demon Belt, all the way to the end, or even like 1 or 2 levels, right? For an artifact that's been around forever, that's going to be around forever, right? And that's probably the next level in terms of game changer things to must have. What would you rather spend your money on, right? For me, it's pretty clear cut. So that's it in terms of the value analysis for the Zongzi package and the Midsummer package. And the reason why I didn't do the 4th anniversary card value analysis last week, because it was just a no-brainer, right? It came out at basically 0.1% per gem when you did the value of the 4th anniversary card. I'm almost certain everyone bought it. So at 0.1%, it's probably... Just to give you an idea, like, we always at university acknowledge the VIP monthly card is the best value card, apart from the Diamond Fund, right? The Diamond Fund is just stupid. It's like 0.05% per gem. But the VIP monthly card is the next best value at 0.1% per gem, and then, 0.13% per gem to be, like, nth degree accurate. But then the anniversary card is much better value than 4th anniversary. Well, not significantly better, but... if the choice between the VIP monthly card and the 4th anniversary card, you had to pick for the month, you should have bought the 4th anniversary card. So that's gone. You can't buy it anymore. I wish you could buy it every week. Obviously you can't. That's water on the bridge. So that's where we are in terms of value analysis, the Zongzi package and the Midsummer package. I wouldn't buy the Midsummer package. If you've got unlimited money, go for it if you're a whale. And this Zongzi package, again, it's just not there for me. I would say, honestly, if you need orbs, I would just wait for Black Friday. And if you wait for Black Friday last year, very good deal on orbs, right? This Zongzi, not valuable. Anyway, that's the second part of the video for today. The last part of the video, I'd like to talk about, I guess, where the game is headed. It's still very much PvP-centric, right? Heavy. I mean, if you look at the new Guard War, right, that's super PvP. It's basically a mix of interdimensional arena and Guard War. It's about having as many E5 heroes as you can, because more E5 heroes means you can provide a better defense for a fort, and also means you have more heroes from which to attack with, right? So if you look at how many E5 heroes I have, I could probably single-handedly take down an entire fort, assuming that the other side is weaker, right? I can use all these heroes to take down one single fort compared to say some other people in my guard, and that's a pretty powerful thing to say. And so this game, if you look at what's PvE and what's PvP, right? There's nothing really PvE that's worth doing. So PvE, you get broken spaces, and you know, I get there's a competition out there to try and do this in the minimum number of badges, but then you've got to ask yourself, well, so what? You get about 100 of these a month, and so if you can complete this in 99 badges compared to 30 badges, right? What's the you might get a kick out of like large numbers and big damage, but at the end of the day, if you're sort of trying to get maximum value and you're playing this game by the numbers, what do you get from building a stronger PvE team and completing broken spaces in 90 tickets versus 30 or 40 tickets? The answer is this, right? You get all these extra tokens that you don't use, and it just builds up. So why are you building a stronger PvE team, right? And even if you look at Guild's Flamestrine, right? I mean, if you look at the difference in rewards, right? So if the difference, if you coming in PvE gets you an extra 9,000, I don't know, let's say you come in the top 10, but then if you build a stronger PvE team, you come first now. So then you get an extra 900 of the Guild coin tokens every 2 to 3 days. What is it? So it's 2 days cool off and then 3 days worth of fighting. So every 5 days is one cycle. You got to ask yourself, well, an extra 900 a week effectively, which is like one of these 4-star shards. What does that actually get me? You get an extra what? So you can buy an extra 4-star shard compared with someone else. After 10 weeks, you can buy a 5-star hero. I mean, it's... So those are the two places where you need a PvE hero effectively, right? And you might argue Sealand as well. So then you got to ask yourself, well, for what I get in return, is it really worth it, right? Whereas if you look at PvP, where is it? It's everywhere. So it's in Celestial Island. It's in this adventure, whether you want to believe it or not. Like, it's not PvE. The person you're fighting is a PvP, right? It's some prick on the other end with an actual team. And then if you go in Arena, this is all obviously PvP, right? So that's where in terms of my mindset, if you look at my lineup and you see that and you think, wow, there are no real PvE heroes there. That's on purpose, right? This Drake, that's going to get replaced as soon as a more viable dark hero comes up. Like, I'm very tempted to replace him with just my third carry. I've got one carry right now. If I can get more copies, this bastard's gone in a heartbeat, because there's just no value in me completing the PvE events in a, like, placing high or in less broken spaces tickets. That's where I'm at right now. Whereas it's totally worth, another Tara, because another Tara is actually, it's not the best in PvP, but it's not the worst either. I would argue I should have probably got... The problem is I didn't want to build a third Aider. I've already got 2 Aiders. So, and I needed to complete Sealand Light. It's just a little mission that I'm on. So, in terms of my lineup, you see that it's very PvP centric, and it'll continue to be very PvP centric. I'm going to finish off my Amun-Ra, who's still quite relevant, and certainly is needed for Tower of Oblivion, which you could argue is PvE, but once you get to 650, what else do you need, right? So I'm 4 levels away from 650, and all I need here is basically just to work out. I've got the heroes, I just haven't worked out the loadout. And when I do, that'll be my second Amun-Ra done and dusted. And the reality is I probably don't need to get her to 330, but I will just for completeness sake. And all that I'm going to do over the next basically 3 to 4 months is work on Russell, wait until that drops, and then work on Sherlock and wait until that drops. And that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to save scrolls along the way. It's as boring as that, guys. That's it. The reality is, for the next 6 months, nothing's going to happen. The meta shift is going to go from PvP perspective, it's going to shift from Carey, Ruda, and Ada to basically Ada, Russell, and Sherlock. Unless some other hero comes along the way just to disrupt that. And it probably will, for all intents and purposes. So the reality is, I'm probably going to get enough food and save up for my Russell, because I think Russell's going to be around for a while. That, and I need him for Sealand. And then Sherlock, I'm on the fence about. I've got 2 copies of Sherlock right now. I'm going to get my 9 copies, and then I'm going to save food along the way. And then if he's still relevant, Unimax is gone. Unimax is going, although I still need him for Aspen Dungeon. We'll just see. So that's how I'm going to approach the next few months. I'm just going to save the food and get the copies. I'm not necessarily going to build up heroes along the way, unless I know I'm going to commit to it. Like I know I'm going to commit to Russell. That's why I got him to 10. But for example, like this Garuda, that these side projects that you have going around, I've seen so many people have side projects. Like I've Delacium. I got 2 here, and I've got another 4 in the bag from the Prophet Orbs. I'm not going to build him. I know I'm not going to build him, right? I just physically know by the time I have enough food to, after I've built Russell, after I maybe built Sherlock, and then start even thinking about Delacium, I know for a fact that another non-light dark hero will drop that's going to be better and is going to take priority. So Delacium is probably going to become food, and Sherlock is probably going to become food by the time I save up enough food. And that's the hard choices you have to make in this game, right? So Garuda, you look at that and you just think, I have enough copies here and in the bag from E9 Garuda. And Elvia, forget it. She's never going to get built, right? So a lot of people sort of just hang on to it. And then they realize, next year when, I don't know, the replacement for Garuda comes out, they'll be like, oh, I'm not building Garuda. And then you just leave them lying in the bag. Whereas you can use them all, turn them all into 6 stars. Like I have here this Garuda. This Garuda is probably going to get used as food, right? For something else, for like a 9 star. For me to E5 Russell. Because the more copies you have just sitting there, the less powerful your PvP team or whatever team you're trying to build. Like just that's the hard lesson I've learned after 2-3 years in this game. Don't save your copies. You might have all these side projects going on. Focus on one project at a time and just complete it. Because by the time you built one project and then start on your second or third project, those heroes in the second or third project are probably out of date already, like it is with Garuda. I already know it's going to be out of date. Russell has already replaced Garuda. And so that's why I'm like, do I really want a second Garuda? Probably not. Not unless they make food easier to get. Anyway, I know this is a very long video. Hope you found some of that discussion useful. I don't, as you know, do fight videos because everyone else does them. But yeah, that's where my thoughts are at with this game and where I'm headed with my lineup. Hopefully that's useful. It'd be good to know what your thoughts are on the 4th anniversary, as well as what you're going to do with your lineup. Anyway, have a great weekend ahead and stay safe.